Hello everybody, welcome back to Access Blockbusters, and welcome to a quick spoiler reaction of episode 6 of AHSOKA entitled Far, Far Away. If you haven't subscribed to the Access Blockbusters YouTube channel, make sure to do so. Give this video a like and let me know in the comments down below, what do you guys think of episode 6 of AHSOKA? What do you guys think of the series as a whole after the high that was episode 5? Let me know in the comments down below, do you think that this series is living up to the hype? And without further ado, let's get into episode 6. And to be honest, guys, this one is pretty easy to talk about because there are two distinct parts of this episode. One I really liked, one I really did not like. So let's talk about the part that I really did not like first. Everything to do with Sabine Wren in this episode, really didn't like. Look, we haven't gotten to spend a lot of time with Sabine's character in this series. She's kind of just been all over the place, either injured or then now going with Balin Skull and Morgan Elsbeth and then going to see Grand Admiral Thrawn. And then the whole thrust of the episode and the whole thrust of this series is really her desire to see Ezra Bridger. And so that is one thing that needed to have been set up earlier. And frankly, I don't think it was. And again, I've seen all of Rebels, so I have seen this character interact with Ezra Bridger. And nothing in particular struck me, and maybe this is just me not remembering it as well, nothing in particular struck me as this particular character of Sabine Wren really wants to see Ezra Bridger more so than Hera did, or more so than AHSOKA did. I know they were closer in age and closer friends than maybe Hera and Ezra were, but still, you have to justify the entire thrust of this series being Sabine wanting to find Ezra Bridger, and this episode, I just still was not convinced of that at all. And honestly, to see an entire 2/3 of this episode be dedicated to that subplot is just disappointing because I don't think that the character of Sabine in this show was that compelling, and I don't think that she continues to be that compelling. And on top of that, there's just this whole goofy animated subplot because look, I understand that maybe in the animated shows, those little rock people would have been probably a lot better off than in live action, but in live action, it just comes off as weird and goofy, and I didn't even buy the part where Ezra and Sabine are reunited. I mean, I don't even like Ezra Bridger as a character, but I'm, more willing to be on board with the character in live action because I thought that, the animated voice had to be a little bit more childish and a little bit more goofy. And to be honest, I just really didn't like the portrayal of Ezra Bridger in Rebels. But I thought, okay, maybe there's going to be a more grounded approach to the character. And so far, I mean, it's fine. He's fine in this show, but I didn't buy their reunion at all. I thought it was just kind of stale, honestly. And maybe that's just me not being as invested in the Rebels characters, but I think that the show has made a little bit of a mistake, honestly, thinking that we would be that invested in Sabine and Ezra coming back together. Because look, I mean, Rebels even aside, I don't even think Rebels set this up, honestly, but just you have to take this show on its own value, and this show on its own needed to set up that stake. What's at stake for Sabine as a character. It needed to set that up on its own, and I just think it failed to do that. And I think it's relying too much on the fact that, we're going to pretend that we care that Sabine wants to see Ezra again, when she would have sacrificed the entire universe for that. Because that is basically what Thrawn tells her. It's like, you're dumb for trying to risk the entire galaxy just to see Ezra Bridger. And I think he's right, honestly. So anyways, that's the part I didn't like, and that's the part where I hope that subplot will come to an end by next episode, because AHSOKA is coming to Peridia. The part that I did like, though, Grand Admiral Thrawn. Everything about Grand Admiral Thrawn is amazing, because I didn't love Rebels, but I liked Grand Admiral Thrawn's portrayal in Rebels, although he did kind of come off as a little dumb sometimes, just because, it's in an animated series, and he kind of has to be foiled by the heroes all the time. But what I did love about Admiral Thrawn in the Rebels series was his portrayal. Lars Mikkelsen, his voice is so imposing, the design is great, and they basically just translated that into live action. And unlike other characters like Cad Bane, who come off as a little bit goofy in live action, I think, they needed some modifications, or the Grand Inquisitor in Obi-Wan, I think Thrawn looks great, honestly. And everything that he says is with such conviction, just like it was in Rebels, and I believe his plan. I believe that he is ready to go back to the galaxy and just conquer it and take it over. That part is amazing to me. And so, I mean, that was basically the episode. There's not a whole lot to talk about because it was just those two parts. I really didn't like one and I really liked the other. Is that going to say anything about what's to come in the series? I don't know, because honestly, I think that the Ezra subplot is wrapping up and the Thrawn subplot is ramping up. So we'll see about that. But this episode kind of represented another mixed bag for me. I think that a couple episodes of AHSOKA have been fantastic, a couple have been just fine, and a couple have been true mixed bags. And so I'm interested to see where they go from here. I think that there is a great possibility they stick the landing, but fingers crossed. So what did you guys think of episode 6 of AHSOKA? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure to subscribe to the Access Blockbusters YouTube channel. I have an exciting announcement coming up very soon. Can't wait to share that with you guys, and I will see you guys in the next one.